There we go. Oh, I gotta readjust myself in the camera. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Howdy, howdy. there was quite a lot of discussion on whether we were like trying to dodge some sort of like demonetization with the stream title.
Oh no, no.
That wasn't the case at all. We're just joking.
It's just kind of funny. It's kind of a joke because it was a few months ago. I did this a video log, and I was going to talk about games that I was never able to finish, or that I'm kind of afraid of trying to finish. And this one was one that I had in my pile to talk about, and my daughter came in just as I was about to talk about it. So I was like, I'm just going to roll with it, and you know, I just censored it, and it's kind of a running joke, I guess, at this point.
Heckfire.
Yeah, it's just funny, and to put the little asterisks in there.
You know, I bet there are a lot of people who probably like legit called it Heckfire back when they were kids.
Yeah, because you know
they didn't want like their mom to like gasp about it when they were talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is a game that I have no idea what I'm in for, because this is a game that I've always been afraid of. I had it as a kid, and I was never able to finish it, like make it past the second level. And I talked about it recently. I said I'm going to commit to finishing it. And I guess I said I'm going to commit to finishing it before the end of the year. And there's not a lot of time left. I remember you saying that. To really do that. So the journey starts right here to see if I can finish it before the end of the year. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I'm willing to make a pretty good go at it.
I mean, in your like playing for like the Mega SG episode,
yes,
you were like you found it to be a lot easier than you remembered, and you thought it probably wouldn't be too hard to get far into it.
Yeah.
Like, how far did you get?
I made it almost the end of the second level, and I hadn't died once. And usually when I'm recording footage of games, I will go until either I die once or until I have to use a continue.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, I just got almost two levels worth. I'm like, I'll quit. But maybe I shouldn't be so afraid of this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's secretly one of the easier shmups.
Maybe, but I guess we're gonna find out.
Shooting game.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get started because we're a little bit behind. But we'll see how it goes.
Excited about something. I think she tipped her bed over.
About a dead cow in the.
Oh yeah, there was a cow.
So the game defaults to easy. When you put it in, it defaults to easy. I'm gonna turn on rapid fire. So I guess we're gonna. I don't know if there's.
There was. I don't know how well this might show up. There was a a taxidermy cow head, like torso, with its head hanging out of the dumpster in my neighborhood today.
It looks kind of it's funny but creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had something similar. I mean, kind of similar, and that randomly there was a dead possum like laying in the road, like directly out in front of my house.
This not as off the wall as like a cow head hanging out of a dumpster, though.
It definitely is not. I'm unsure if this game has unlimited continues. I'd like to believe that it does, but I can't be sure.
Oh, really? I feel like unlimited continues is like not a very Genesis thing.
Right.
I mean,
It might be.
I don't. Well,
might
I mean,
not be,
there
and not
was,
tell you how many other continues it has.
Yeah, like there's Glaylancer, which is I'm pretty sure infinite continues, but I feel like that's pretty unusual on the system.
Lost that
At
option.
least in the American versions. Of course, you're playing the Japanese version, so I have no idea if that could be easier or
It's
something.
possible. I mean, it's certainly possible. The U.S. version is kind of expensive of this, but and the Japanese version is decently expensive. But I managed to get this one randomly off of eBay for $17, in pretty
awesome.
nice shape. So, I mean, the label's kind of coming loose on the top of it, but other than that, it's pretty good.
I mean, that would be like an F rating.
Yes.
Those Japanese like condition labels.
Right. Would be unacceptable.
Is this FrameMeister OSSC? I mean, I'm sure it's OSSC, assuming that you're playing a Genesis and not a.
Yeah, I was actually going to use the optimized profile for the Genesis, but I didn't have enough time to set it up since I changed some audio stuff around.
What's that
this
little
week.
dancing character?
I don't know.
It's pretty wild. Oh, we got $1.99 from Reluctant Hero.
Well, thank you.
I have one more free super chat, and you lads deserve it. Oh, I don't know if I knew about free super chats. If I did, I forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week. I mean, I don't know how you get them, but there is people, like, you get it free with something, and maybe if, like, YouTube Premium or something like that.
Right. I know that there's like a similar thing with Twitch. I was probably just too distracted playing Kabuki Qualm Fighter for it to really sink in. That's cool. That's nice that
they give it. I mean, I know that Twitch does something similar.
Yes. Thank you.
See, this is definitely a checkpoint game, though. I know that you die and you go back to a checkpoint.
Is it a difficult to rebuild game, though?
I don't know.
Is that your option that's flying around, like,
yeah,
all over the screen?
Yeah, I don't really know what it's doing. It's just not shooting at all. It's just flying around.
Do you have options on how you power up, or do you just like have these weapons?
You have 4 different guns that fire in different directions, but you just power up the same gun over and over again, as far as I know.
By the way, people should look for a mini episode.
Yeah,
tomorrow morning.
I feel bad it's been so long since there's been an episode, and then we come back with a mini. But that's the only thing that I've had time for. But I'm going to be beginning work on a full episode starting tomorrow.
Yeah, and it should be less of a gap, I think.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, I plan on releasing the other one on December 6th. Is what I'm going to be aiming for because of the holiday, and that messes with everything too.
I've been busy integrating some of our recent interviews into the doc series scripts, and boy, let me tell you, y'all are in for a treat. Since we were lucky enough to get Artemio.
Yeah.
I mean, that
really just a super smart and well-spoken person who's very good at just explaining. That was close. I almost died there.
He is very good at just like explaining things in a way that like you hear it and you immediately understand why it's important. He's just able to very quickly and concisely and directly explain like why this matters.
Yeah. My options is like getting all up in there. Like it's just like inside that thing.
Is there like another button you push to like fire it, or
it's just doing its thing? I don't mind.
Does it do like contact damage or something?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Coury lives, in the Cincinnati area, so yes, we we were there where there were a bunch of other people, and we got our Teamio to Coury's house, and he is an interview, and he's got a pretty significant amount of screen time in it. Just because so much of what he said is so relevant. So it was a huge honor that we were able to get him in here, because I felt like he was like one of the people that it almost felt like something was missing without him, because so much of the narration was honestly kind of inspired by him.
I died. Well, we're gonna find out how.
So I'm glad that he's able to say a lot with his own words now. So we got a £2 donation from Engine UK saying, "Is it finally the Treasure History episode?"
It is not. I mean,
that would be awesome if we could do something like that sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, that I would almost see as being like an M2 level project, but considering like kind of the mysterious status of Treasure right now, I don't know how readily anyone would be like wanting to talk to us, you know?
Yeah. Oh. Jeez. Oh. See, now it's getting a little tough here.
So is this level 2 or 3?
This is 2. The levels are kind of long, so I'm only anticipating there to be probably 6 levels in it, because they're a little bit longer than normal.
Is that Neo Geo stick / console out? I don't know. Is it out?
I'm pretty sure that it's out. Yes, and you can buy it, because I've seen a lot of people picking it up, and that is coincidentally that's what the mini is on tomorrow. I was able to. We were sent a review unit, and it's me and John Linneman talking about it for about 22 minutes.
Yep.
Jeez.
It's pretty great, I thought.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning.
Whoa. What the heck? Like, I died and it put me completely someplace else.
What the heck, Fire? Is this somewhere you've been before? Round 1, stage 2, it says.
Or round 1 means that's your first loop.
Oh, okay.
So
is this part of the level you've been to, or did it just like jump you ahead to a checkpoint you were near?
I think that's what it did, is a jump. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're having trouble with something and it takes you a little while, it puts you to the next area. I mean, that would be odd that that's what it does, but I feel like Truxton did something very similar. And Truxton, this is also a Toplin game, so I mean, maybe that's part of what they do.
We got $4.99. Thank you from Christopher Beck, asking. I'm assuming MLLF is meant to say MLiG. How does MLiG handle playing region-locked games? Do you have more than one system, like for Xbox 360? Well, Xbox 360 is mostly region-free, isn't it? Other than like,
I mean, no, not really. I mean, certain games are, but
certain games that's a per game region lock.
Jeez, I'm getting crushed here.
I mean, in some cases, I do have other systems. In some cases, I don't really have to, but I have the other system anyway. Like, let's see, for NES, I do have like an RGB modded NES and an RGB modded AV Famicom. For a long time, I was playing Famicom games on. Or NES games on my RGB mod Famicom using a cartridge adapter. But I eventually, found a really good condition top loader NES for a good price, and I was like, well, I just really want that RGB modded, so I got that done. So yeah, I play those on separate systems. Although I used to play American and US on a Japanese system. Super Nintendo, just tear out the tabs. I do have a Super Famicom that was actually given to me by a viewer of the show, which was very much appreciated. But I use that mostly like for B-roll and stuff. Although you never know if I might have it like more properly hooked up sometime. But yeah, mostly I play my Japanese Super Famicom games on my Super Nintendo. All three, because I have to have all these different revisions for the show. All three of my Super Nintendos are I have the tabs torn out, so I can play import games on any of them.
And I think that only happened so that we could show, like, get not recycle the same footage of tearing out the tabs in different episodes. At least that's how I know how it was with me. Like,
there were a few times where it's like, okay, I'm going to wait to tear out the tabs of this unit until like I know that I need it for an episode, because I wanted to like record the footage.
Oh. See, that's the thing. Like, okay, we're gonna find out if there's unlimited continues. Oh, there's 10 continues. It looks like.
Well, that's pretty generous.
Yeah.
Pretty generous. Oh, and it continued. You continued where you left off.
Yeah.
In 64, I probably don't do the most logical thing for playing N64 imports. Really, the smart thing to do is to you can get like a 3D printed, like a replacement. Do you have that, like a 3D printed like replacement?
I don't have a replacement. I just like took a Dremel to mine and to cut out the tabs.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's another option, because it's another tab situation.
It's not the most attractive looking thing, that's for sure. But
yeah, but you can also get like a 3D printed like internal cartridge slot tray replacement that is region free. But what I actually do though is I just bought like a bunch of like $2 sports games that were in nice physical condition, and I just use a game bit to open them up and just swap the back plate.
Jeez, come on.
So
I was like, look at the chat. Okay, so I guess I got a lot of extra lives in that first level.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm okay. If I if I have to restart,
you die out, you'll start again, and maybe you'll do awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I do. Not necessarily the most efficient thing, but the thing that I kind of like about that method, as opposed to modding the N64 region free, is that I could, play that on someone else's N64. I could, take that to a friend's house or something. And, my Japanese game would work on their system, regardless of whether they, had done it. GameCube, just, launching homebrew Swiss. To be honest, I can't remember if I've ever actually tried using that to launch a disc, but I'm sure it works. We, did the soft mod for region free, so I could play like Xenoblade and Disaster Day of Crisis before Xenoblade came out here. Wii U, not set up for region free, and obviously Switch is region free, which I've taken huge advantage of. PS1, I do have a Japanese system.
I don't know why that gets me.
You do something different for PS1.
Me?
What do you do for PS1 imports?
Oh, I just have a mod chip in my system. Jeez, I'm getting wrecked here.
Yeah, and I just have I have a PS1 ONE for that. PlayStation 2, I've I'm sure I could do it with the free McBoot in some fashion, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you should have no problem doing that.
I've just never really bothered. What I want to do though, a viewer of the show sent
I mean,
me
you don't even have any. You haven't even have any import PS2 games.
Oh, I've got several actually.
Oh.
I've just never bothered to do anything with them.
Oh.
But a viewer of the show sent me a PSX, but it needs some work. The disk drive doesn't work. It's got a little like physical damage on it that has made it difficult to open up because like the rails on the side near the back, one of them is kind of bent. I think Voltar or someone sent me like a link to some information about how to open one up. I forget.
Is it kind of difficult to open?
Well, I couldn't really figure out at a glance how to open it up. But the problem is there's just very little information about that system. So I need to, I believe that it's relatively easy to replace the laser assembly. So that's something I want to. If not, I'll get some help. But yeah, that's what I want to do for PS2 imports is to use that. That's just what I want to do. And then obviously PS3, PS4,
stage
3. As for I don't have any imports for Xbox systems. For PC Engine, Voltar installed a region switch where the I do have a PC Engine, not a TurboGrafx, and Voltar installed a region switch where the RF select is.
That's that picking up those speed enhancements.
That was a no cut mod essentially. He just replaced the switch with that. And yeah, that works really well, so I can play my American TurboGrafx games on it that way. And then I don't have any Japanese Master System games. For Genesis, I also have a region switch on that. And that one did require like also reshaping the cartridge slot a bit, widening it a bit. Although like you can't really see it most of the time very much. So it's not that big of a deal. Although I do actually have a Japanese Mega Drive 2, which I may switch to using for my Japanese games if I get it like, well, I want to get either like a triple bypass or one of those other mods in it. I'm just not sure what yet. Yeah, then Saturn, there's the Action Replay, which is, you can use that to boot Japanese games. And I've got
come on,
one or two Japanese Dreamcast games, but I've never played them. I've never really bothered to figure out what I'm going to do for that. So yeah, there you go.
And of course, I saw a donation there.
Oh yeah. There was another donation from Peter Brown.
Oh, thank you.
Says, heck yeah.
I gotta stop collecting those speed power-ups because it's bad news once you get too many.
Do I have any PAL imports? I have a few, but not a lot. I've got I've got Disaster Day of Crisis and Xenoblade, which those run at 60 hertz anyway. So I just have my Wii soft modded, and there's no difference in how that runs from the American or Japanese version. 60 hertz, 480p.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I do have an accidentally purchased PAL copy of Axelay. Like I was just like, oh yeah, Japanese version, that's cheaper than the American version. I'll buy that. And I just did not like, I'm not used to
It's
seeing
like it's the same cover art, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it's the same cover art. Or...
it's the same cover art as the American one, I think. I'm not
really
sure what I can't remember what the Japanese. I ended up later finding the Japanese version at a local shop, and I bought it anyway. But like, I just didn't look at it closely enough to like think like, oh, it says Super Nintendo on it. Because I'm just, over here, you rarely see.
Much better the first time.
You rarely see PAL cartridges. Here, so I just like I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a Super Famicom game to me. So I do have that. I tested it on the Super NT. And switch that to NTSC mode, and it appeared to just run it exactly like the NTSC version. So I could play that way. But then I found the Japanese version, so I have that anyway.
It's psyching
getting
me
pretty
out.
hard.
Well, it's not getting hard. It's just it's psyching me out.
Let me think. Do I have any? I mean, I've got several. I've got several Europe. It wouldn't be accurate to call them PAL versions, but I've got several Europe versions of like PS4 and Switch games. Like I've got my my Last Guardian for PS4 ended up being the European version. Which was just kind of funny because the listing was it had the ESRB rating on it on Amazon. It was really hard to find actually for several weeks after it released.
Wait, what was?
The Last Guardian.
Oh, I remember.
It was just like, it was just really weird. It was just
and you
like
got a European one when you ordered it, right?
Right, but the listing. It was not sold by Amazon, but the listing said, it had the ESRB rating on it. But it was the PEGI rate. And I'm like, well, that's funny, but it literally doesn't matter. And then I think, what was it, Tomb Raider and or Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a physical PAL release of that. I got that. I might have one other thing like that. I've also got a few games from Strictly Limited.
Then I do that. Come on. All
right. Strictly Limited is based in Germany. They do PS4 and Switch games, and then there's Super Rare Games, which is in the UK. They just do Switch games, and so I've got some games from both of those companies. So those, I can't think of any other European imports I have. So the only like true PAL game was Axelay.
Yeah, I saw someone saying that this game is definitely easy to, or is possible to beat it with max speed up. Is when you max up your power ups, you get 10,000 points per power-up that you collect, so you end up getting tons of extra lives. So maybe that's why I was able to have so many extra lives by the time I got to the second level.
I mean, now that you're practicing, like you could probably do really good.
Well, I'm gonna just go until I have to start over again, and I'm gonna start over again.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we get it done.
Oh.
Oh, we got another donation from Christopher Beck with $1.99. Thank you. Does anyone play NTSC Japanese Xbox
Thank you.
games?
No, I only recently went all the way with the mod on my Xbox. I put like a 1 terabyte hard drive in it and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's easy to launch games from other regions now that you've done that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't own any though. I was always interested in Metal Wolf Chaos, but it's really expensive, and now there's the HD version anyway. So,
right.
Which I got the physical PS4 release of that.
I see Michael Lazinski is saying any new episodes on the horizon. There's going to be a mini episode out tomorrow. I just had other work recently and other stuff happening, but I'm going to be starting on a full-fledged episode starting tomorrow for hopefully release in the first week of December. But tomorrow's is 22. There's 22 minutes.
I am not playing Pokemon yet. I had it pre-ordered because I had a bunch of games pre-ordered, especially Nintendo games, because they don't go down in price with the Best Buy Gamers Club. And I didn't want to get rid of the pre-order, even though I knew I didn't have time to play it right now. So I kept the pre-order, but then I just my dad was here.
Oh jeez. you see that happen?
Yeah, you're.
I seem to kill one of them. There we go.
Freaking Lando Calrissian over here.
I feel like it. Oh, it's not even the end of the level. Come on.
Well, my dad was over here. We were working on some of the remodeling that I'm doing upstairs and documenting the process for a video.
That's cool. I forgot you were even doing that. So it's been going pretty good.
I mean, just sharing a little footage. I mean, nothing elaborate, but just sort of documenting the process. And I picked it up and I just gave it to him and said, just give this to me on Christmas. I'm not gonna have time to play it before then anyway. So, the box art on Pokemon games, really just it's not good box art.
Well, you hear anything about the draw distance in the game? I'm just kidding.
I did watch a little bit of the Digital Foundry video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I said there was something a little bit about popping or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people have a super inflated expectation of what Game Freak's talents are. I mean, I have pretty, I am not I enjoy playing Pokemon games, but
Jeez. That's the scrolling there is really weird, and it makes it hard.
It's like there's a screen rumble or something.
Yeah.
Well, I get to the Elite Four, I beat the champion, and then I'm done. I just play it as a regular RPG. I enjoy it, and I'm not hardcore enough about Pokemon to be complaining like people are complaining. I'm looking forward to it. First console Pokemon, that's very exciting. But anyway, I did think the box art was really bad. It's just the legendary Pokemon with pretty much just a white background behind it and just the logo over top. It's just it literally looks like it was done in 5 minutes. It's very boring and uninspired box art. There's not even a cool pattern or gradient of much of anything to speak of behind it. I mean, I forget. I don't have it in my hands right now. I mean, there might have been some slight gradient.
Well, they probably knew that it didn't need to.
It doesn't, but usually there's something to it. I mean, that's how it always is. At least ever since, after the first game, which had, the starter Pokemon on it. But then, since then, it's basically been like, the signature legendary of that version. With
this is like messing
some
with
background, but the background's there's really just no background to speak of. I mean,
it's like this scrolling up and down is like messing with me. It's so choppy. Sorry. I mean, didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I didn't know there's a PC Engine Heckfire.
Oh, that's right. Is it considered better or worse than this? I have no idea.
I mean, it's definitely a system known for its shooters, but so is the Genesis.
Yeah. It's like, it's not that hard. It makes it hard to see what's going on.
It looks easier than some of the stuff earlier in the level.
Yeah.
How do you play Mega Drive games on your Genesis, by the way? You didn't resize your cartridge slot, did you?
The what? Oh, this? Believe it or not, if you have a 32X attached, you barely have to do anything to the slot. You just I just had to file a little bit of the corner of each of the tabs, and it fits right in there.
That's right. Jason Spears donated $4.99.
Thank you.
Saying, what are your favorite games played this year? It doesn't have to be a new release. Thanks for the content, guys. Thank you.
Well, we always do the games we played this year video that we'll be doing again this year. Yours is going to be a lot more. It's going to be. I have a lot more games on it than I am because I just I've not played enough games. But I mean, would it be a spoiler just saying like what was like your favorite? What's the front runner for your favorite game that you played all year?
As far as there's a few thoughts for sure. I'm looking at my backlog history. Like in terms of old games that are new to me, definitely Ape Escape, I would say, is my front runner. That just kind of blew me away. Like, I could not believe just like how imaginative and fresh it felt. In spite of being so old. And it's just because it has that, feeling of them, doing something new with it. Because you had to have the DualShock to play it. And they just used that in ways that are very different from how it's used today, because it just uses the camera today. It was just fantastic. Resident Evil 2 remake. Probably in terms of like new games, even though it's kind of weird to call that a new game. That's probably the best 2019 release. I keep forgetting that was a release this year because it feels.
Didn't
like
it win like Game of the Year on something recently, and everyone's like the golden joysticks or something? Oh, jeez.
I have no idea. I don't really pay attention to that stuff at all.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Ninja Saviors was really good. Yeah, that's high up on your list.
That is probably my number one right now. I just feel that I connected to that one more than basically any game I've played all year.
I really enjoyed Valkyria Chronicles 4. Mario Maker 2. enjoyed that a whole lot more than I thought I would. Bloodstained. Bloodstained was very, very good. Yeah, that's definitely up there. Let's see.
Alright, let's do this. I'm falling apart.
There are definitely. I did beat Dragon Quest XI this year, even though I played most of it last year.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing. You know, I played most of Fist of the North Star last year, but it'll be on my list for this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, Astrobot as well. I beat it. Like Astrobot was, I think.
But that was on both of our lists last year, I thought.
Yeah, but I beat it on January 4th.
Oh, so you're gonna put it on your list again, or what?
It wasn't really on my list because I didn't beat it. But I played most of it last year. It's just that I didn't beat it until January.
I see.
But that was very, very good.
I was off to a really good start with the games I finished at the beginning of the year, and it fell apart around March.
There's definitely been an uptick for me because I've been pretty good about, like, you know, I've been managing my work-life balance a lot better ever since the beginning of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been, you know, making time for games consistently in the evenings, and it has helped my state of mind tremendously. So yeah, so that's definitely helped me a lot. You know, I don't know if you decided if you were going to stick with it for now or not, but I mean, I've been playing several hours of Death Stranding each, you know, most evenings this week.
Mm-hmm. I have not been playing it. I have not played it since I got to Chapter 3 because I've been doing this mini.
So you did get to Chapter 3?
I was like the start of Chapter 3, and then I...
Okay, yeah. I'm in Chapter 5 now.
Hmm.
Chapter 3 is really long, though. It's a lot longer than the previous chapters. And then
I thought 2 was kind of long.
3, oh, I mean, 3 is definitely longer than that. But then 4 is like extremely. 4 is like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I'm in Chapter 5. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. Like, I have not really been involved or paid attention to like the discussion that's surrounding the game at all. So I don't really know what people are saying about it. It's
jeez, come on. This is getting real old here.
It's weird. It's like it's like I can't believe they made a AAA game about like slowly carrying an awkward, you know, stack of boxes on your back. You know, it's like I really got to respect the fact that they did something that bold.
Yeah.
And you know, I what can I say? I am enjoying it. Like I don't know if I can really articulate why, but I do find it compelling. You know, I keep playing it and I'm enjoying it. You know, I don't know if I would call it fun per se, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
let's see another donation there. I'm almost tempted just to start over. Should I start over? Because I'm gonna.
You mean restart the whole game?
I only got one more continue left, so I might as well. I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Okay. We got I'm gonna have a hard time saying your name from 5 Brazilian reals, I think is how you say them, from Jean Carvalho Toledo. Thank you very much. Have you guys ever played some of the tech toy releases for the Mega Drive? There are some weird stuff, like Mortal Kombat 3 for the Master System. Dreams from Brazil. I am definitely really curious about some of the tech toy releases. I don't know how much of them are easy to get a hold of right now, but like I know their website, and I don't know if you can just like import it to America easily directly from there or not, but like they've got like the Monica,
right, the Wonder Boy Monica's,
the Wonder Boy game, you know, that's kind of cool. I don't know like if the cartridge is like well made or not. I feel like it may have come up before. We've probably had this discussion before, but I can't remember if anyone ever said. Like, I'm definitely curious about the Monica games just because we're big Wonder Boy fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting Master System stuff too.
I died on the first level.
Oh, well, you should restart if you die on the first level. You can't allow that to happen.
I can't get up and walk over there.
I feel like you're getting psyched out.
Maybe.
By this game.
No, I'm not. I'm doing okay. It's only if I die again, if I die enough to have to use a continue on this first level, because I know that I was able to get a whole bunch of lives before by completely powering up. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, Smoke Monster has no idea how anyone can stream shoot 'em up, so hats off to you.
Well, could only do it if with your help.
You mean me?
Like watching the chat. I mean, everyone would be real disappointed if I was by myself, because I wouldn't be saying anything. But okay, so the little minus sign gives you an extra hit. But I do like Death Stranding, but I wish it wasn't apparently the length that it is. I think I was saying I wish that it sometimes it feels hard to justify, like, oh, this is the game I'm going to play for the rest of the year.
Right, I understand. And definitely the length was one of the biggest problems with Metal Gear Solid 5. I feel like it works better here though, just because of the slow burn kind of very much feels rewarding, because as you like start to get like slightly more efficient means of you know, kind of traveling around and stuff, it's, you know, just kind of the sense of progression, it kind of feels earned, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that since the mini will be out tomorrow, it's done and uploaded and everything, that I'll get back to it starting tomorrow too.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a good foothold in the game, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But I do wonder how long I'll remain interested. I mean, the part of the thing I'm nervous about is that the story seems like it's so out there that I can't imagine them even coming close to explaining everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that they try to at least explain everything in a satisfactory manner, because I seriously doubt that there is going to be a sequel to this game.
Oh yeah, I feel like Kojima's probably going to do like one-off games for a while.
Yeah, I do feel that a lot of the basis probably behind this was developing the tech more so than it was the actual game itself.
Maybe because it's like in some ways it's like such an expansive and such a limited game at the same time. Although I mean, it's based on I believe the engine that was used in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, really?
But I'm sure there's still like a lot of new tech in it though.
Oh.
But it uses Horizon's engine.
I thought it was like an engine that they developed.
No, I'm pretty sure it's mostly based on. It says Decima engine or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't played Horizon. So
yeah.
Have you played Horizon?
I mean, I've played like 45 minutes to capture footage, but it seems really cool based on what I've played. Like I keep thinking I should prioritize that. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a decent dent next year on my my AAA backlog.
Yeah. I kind of feel it.
Like Death Stranding definitely has me kind of feeling that right now. Like I'm like, yeah.
I think that the only AAA game I've even played that I can think of off the top of my head that I finished this year was Spider-Man, probably.
Which I don't even have.
Yeah.
Let me look at what AAA games I beat this year. I mean, there's Dragon Quest XI, but again, I played most of that last year. Of course, Resident Evil 2, Smash Brothers Ultimate, Crash Bandicoot might have been considered a AAA game 25 years ago or whatever. Let's see. Do we call Yoshi's Crafted World a AAA game? I don't know. Like I almost think of like Nintendo games as like outside like AAA.
Yeah.
Like that's not like a slide at the quality of them or anything. I mean, they're some of the highest quality games in existence. But usually like AAA is like a term that I like for some reason I associate that with like Western games for whatever reason. But that's not really the case. Let's see. Yakuza, those are probably considered AAA. I beat Yakuza 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Fire Emblem Fates would be considered AAA. Finally beat that this year. Let's see. Mario Maker 2, maybe AAA. Like, I mean, I guess AAA, though, in some sense, like, it really does probably have to have, like, you know, some aspect of, like, kind of state-of-the-art, like, technology and graphics and stuff. I would think to truly fit that description. I don't really know, like, if there even is, like, an accepted description of what AAA is. Like Valkyria Chronicles 4, like, you know, I don't know if that's really AAA or not. Like, you know, because like the cutscene presentation is like very simple and stuff. But I really like that game. Let's see. Astral Chain is definitely AAA. I did beat that. I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good. I wasn't like crazy in love with it or anything, but I had a fun time with it. Link's Awakening, borderline AAA maybe.
Oh, that's right. I haven't even booted that up yet. So stupid.
Man of Medan, I would say, is like kind of AAA. It's kind of a budget game, but I would definitely classify
a double A game, maybe. Is that what that's the term for it?
Oh no. So I guess like Resident Evil 2 and at the pace I'm going, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'd like to beat Death Stranding before Thanksgiving. I guess those Death Stranding and Resident Evil 2 are like the big new releases this year in terms of AAA stuff.
See, I have this shield. The little minus sign gives you an extra hit.
Mm-hmm. How do you get that?
It's just a normal power-up. But you can see, look at how many lives I have.
Oh, wow.
So...
it's just being more powered up. Does that help a lot, too?
Well, power-up means that every... instead of where you would normally get a power-up, it drops these bonus points that they give you a whole bunch of points instead of giving you power-ups, and you build up a lot of points that way, and you get extra lives like crazy.
It also looks like, I don't know if it was just that boss, but and maybe it was this way before too, but it looks like being powered up and shooting all those shots is causing the game to slow down a bit.
Maybe.
I don't know if that helps. Do those minuses drop a lot more often?
Maybe.
When you're fully powered up?
I think that those are probably only showing up at the specific times.
What's your favorite donut? I've always been a Boston cream man myself. Although that might set off some people on the it has to have a hole to be a donut argument. But if it doesn't have a filling, then donut's a donut. I feel like there's not a lot that differentiates like different flavors of donuts unless they have a filling. I love donuts. Chocolate donut with chocolate frosting. That's great.
Yeah, I like red velvet donuts. Oh, here we go with this guy.
Yeah. I don't have donuts very often.
There's that. Oh, I died. I knew it was gonna happen.
That is like a pretty mean mid boss, I feel like.
Yeah, it's just weird. But like most shooters, this is going to be something you probably have to learn the whole thing so you can just make it really far without ever dying.
Sprinkle donut. I would definitely.
I do like some sprinkles.
I feel like it's only been in my adult life that I've come to appreciate what sprinkles can add to, ice cream or a cupcake or something. I think I always, as a kid, thought of sprinkles as relatively flavorless.
There is a donation that's going to come through just on stream.
Oh yeah, I see it. Raf8888 with $1. Thank you. Did you ever use burned copies of CD-based systems when they were commercially relevant?
Oh yeah, I had a mod chip in my PS1 in 98, starting in 98, I think. That was a big turning point for me, I think, where I said I had all these burned copies of a game and I realized these are just like pieces of plastic. I'm not doing anything with them. And that really affected the way that I played games, because I just would play something for a few minutes and be like, oh, this is garbage. I'll play something else. So I think that really shaped a lot of my feelings on EverDrives and stuff. I love EverDrives for what they are, but I will never find it that I can commit to a game when I'm playing on one.
Yeah. And I think I've realized that for a very long time. You know, because I never got too into emulation. Like, I played a little, like, you know, back in the late 90s or early 2000s, played a little Genesis emulation just because I didn't, you know, I didn't have a Genesis. And, you know, I modded my first PSP, did a little bit. But I think that was really when I realized, like, man, I'm not, like, playing these games.
Yeah.
The one game that I played through on my PSP was Castlevania 2. And the only reason I really committed to it was because I was kind of racing a friend in it. Like, you know, we were like, oh, who can get through this game the fastest? Like, because neither of us had beaten it before.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was in college, and you know, I didn't have my NES with me. I owned the game, but you know, I didn't have my NES with me, so I played it on my PSP. And but yeah, like outside of that, like I'm just like playing these games for a few minutes. So yeah, I mean, unless like I did something on PC, possibly. I can't think of anything specific, but yeah, I can't remember using burned media. And you know, my understanding is that, you know, a lot of burnable discs are really not good for like the longevity of the laser.
Oh, interesting. I actually,
yeah.
you know, I've heard that before. I mean,
yeah, Voltar actually said that in our interview with him.
Okay.
And you know, he has like recommended to us in the past before, like when I think we needed to test something on like PC Engine or something. He's like, you know, you should really use this type of disc. But even then, I don't know if that means that like the wear and tear from those better CDRs is
right.
Is like equal to a real thing. But like one thing, you know, Voltar talks about in the documentary series, you know, he says, you know, the dyes that are used in burnable media, as well as, you know, just discs that are overly scratched, you know, the laser has to work that much harder to read it.
Yeah.
So that kind of definitely has me thinking about, you know, putting extra wear and tear on, you know, the optical drives. Definitely has me wanting to do anything with burns like very, very, very sparingly.
Yeah.
Like really only maybe for testing something. You know,
well, that's why like a lot of the hard drive stuff, like with a PS2, is very nice. And you know, I attached the hard drive recently to the Wii, and I just ripped all my own games to it.
Does Retro USB AVS support analog DAC? No, it only works with analog systems. I'm sure if
I just like use my 3 Hellfire beams on that thing to take it down. Like, I'm just gonna go crazy with it.
You mean Heckfire?
Yeah, sorry. Well, yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure if Brian Parker wanted to reverse engineer the analog DAC, he could probably write firmware for the AVS that supported it if he wanted to.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, it would be cool if they put that information out there that people could write firmware for their things to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that could be something that would happen.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, that could be like a way for like the GBA consolizer, or you know, Ultra HDMI, or you know, possibly even a way to turn like high def NES. into like essentially like an RGB mod as well.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy. That would actually be super awesome.
Yeah. And it does make me wonder if that's going to happen.
I never thought of that. Like, I mean, if Kevin wanted to, he probably could do that. He probably could do that for the high def NES. I never thought of that. I bet he could. I bet he's done it.
Probably.
I bet he's done it. Like maybe he just hasn't released it. But he probably knows how he could do it in like 5 minutes. Smoke Monster's like, these are great ideas. You should talk to people. Smoke Monster. Maybe you can figure it out. Figure out how to make it happen.
It would be really cool.
That would honestly make the DAC that much more appealing for me. Because the systems that does work with, I've got ways to play those games in RGB.
Right.
I've got the real systems. I can play them in RGB. But stuff like
intense, this part.
Stuff like, GBA Consolizer, that would be, I mean, even the high def NES, like I could see myself like maybe using that more than the NES RGB, possibly, if that was an option.
Well, I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's like some sort of security.
I'm just like in this zone. I don't want to lose it, so I'm just listening.
Oh, that's fine. Don't if you need some quiet.
No, I don't. I just keep on talking. Just keep on chatting with the chat.
But I don't know if there might be some like security on like the DAC end, but it would be cool if they opened it up, much like they're planning to open up the Pocket.
Right. I wouldn't normally think that opening up the DAC would be an option, would be something that people would be interested in like that. But I mean, the fact that that's happening with the Pocket makes me think like, oh,
maybe it is possible. Yeah, it really could be, I guess. I mean, that would be interesting because there's so many potential applications for that DAC, and people who don't even own analog systems, could possibly make excellent use of it with, other systems.
Jeez, okay. We're gonna do this. Is this how we're gonna do this? Okay.
Oh wow, we got 5 Canada bucks from the Happy Console Gamer.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. He's got a question. I have a component modded Turbo Duo. When I run it on my FrameMeister, the screen is shaky every 10 seconds or so. Any fixes? Component modded. That are you familiar with a component mod?
What I would do in that case is I would try to adjust the sync level on the FrameMeister and see if that fixes anything.
Yeah. I've not heard of a component mod. I don't know if it's like possible to like pull component video natively from that. Like I understand what people have said. I don't know enough to state this is true.
Man, this is like suddenly it's getting real hard here.
People have said that like the Super Nintendo outputs, like the chip, like internally, like generates native YPVPR, and I'm not quite sure if I believe it's true, but a lot of people have said that. And that just sounds insane to me because I didn't even know that standard would have
this is like
even existed, like even just like on the hardware, even if there's no access to it. I don't know. It's a very strange thing.
I guess it's better off that I use the diagonals.
But I wonder if that
holy cow.
PC Engine mod is maybe it's like an RGB mod with some sort of RGB to YPB PR conversion internally? I have no idea. I don't know what it could possibly be doing. But yeah, the sync level can definitely like make it more tolerant of things like that.
Yeah,
so that would definitely be the first step.
This is like, I'm falling apart. This part is tough.
Did you get past this before, or is this new?
Yeah, I got past it before because I was a lot stronger and things died a lot quicker.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look up.
Look up how many levels there are on this too.
That's what I'm gonna look up.
I feel like, I bet you there's gonna be 6. It seems like a 6 level
right.
game.
How much you putting down on that?
Nothing.
There's a Turbo CD version listed here on GameFAQs, but that does not help.
Man. Okay, so Joshua Helmicke is saying that 4 and 5 are hellish. So this seems like a bottleneck.
It does look like there are 6 levels. The interesting enough, the FAQ only has, it's only for bosses.
Interesting. I mean, I've certainly made it further in this stream than I did in my entire time when I owned this game as a kid, which is pretty impressive in its own right.
This FAQ like is basically like from like level 4 on. It's just like level 4 boss. It starts off saying probably the easiest boss in the game. Level 5 says I don't really consider this guy a boss. But he does say this boss is pretty easy, but can get you killed if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, sounds like any boss in any game.
And then stage 6 says this has to be the crappiest final boss in any shooter. How anticlimactic.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh.
Although I never really trust how FAQ writers rate the difficulty.
Oh. Here we go, level 5.
Oh man.
That boss was really easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Stevie. I didn't know you were there. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh, come say hello to the stream. Come say hello. You just want to go? You want to go chew on your flamingo? Okay, you can go chew on your flamingo. Don't have my headphones with you.
I'm doing okay though. I have a lot of credits.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've come a long way.
Yeah. I mean, does it count? I mean, the game defaults. The default difficulty is hard, or is easy. When you put it in,
really?
It is on easy when you start the game.
Yeah, those purple spinny things with like the arms and feet or whatever. They make me think of the like the different weapon types in Silhouette Mirage. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like how they're like kind of represented by these like weird like characters.
Jeez. No, I never finished Silhouette Mirage. I need to make it a point to do that.
It can be a pretty tough game. I mean, there's like a bunch of different endings, I think. I only beat it one time. There's several kind of routes, I guess. I don't remember how difficult.
FG 6000 seems like they're a pro at this game. What are they saying? Saying you can die as many times as you want as you need to and always recover, and that's good.
Until the very last stretch of stage 6.
But at that point, if you die, then that person, the fact said that it was the easiest boss in the history of games.
Well, he said the
it was anticlimactic.
Yeah, he said it was anticlimactic. He said the crappiest final boss.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily saying he's like easy.
Right.
Adam Jenkins is asking if you're using a turbo controller, or does the game just automatically do
it has a rapid fire in the options.
Okay, that's nice. Who made this game?
This was published by Seismic, but it's a Toplin game.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was thinking, you know,
I probably knew that at some point.
I said it earlier, but it's, if it's like, oh, like, Truxton. Dang it. And Artemio told me that the Toplin is more known for their horizontal, or their vertically scrolling games. And this isn't super well regarded because it's out of their wheelhouse.
The distinction of we got one Sam Bam pledged $1 on Patreon. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much. As someone who is no connoisseur of the genre, the notion that vertical is superior or whatever is very interesting to me. As in my mind, it really should make zero difference. I kind of like horizontal just because it's I guess more normal. Plus, if you're playing at home and you aren't, hardcore enough to have a tate setup, you're getting more resolution by having a horizontal.
This part's tough. You got to know where everything's coming from.
Oh, Potbelly Punch has $2 and says, "Thanks for keeping me entertained while I work." Well,
Thanks for watching.
I don't think these are.
Thanks for rooting for me.
I don't think of these as work hours. I don't know where you live or what shift you work, but or if you watch the archives. Yeah.
Did you ever have to work a job that you worked overnight?
No. I mean, I probably stayed at my job until very late in the evening, at times, when I at the peak of my busyness with my old job, but no. No. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, when I did a lot of assistant editor work, I was working late at night.
But like overnight, did you ever have to work like overnight? Whoa! You got.
Oh yes, I did have to work overnight. I saw them.
We got a couple donations here. We got
Thank you.
we got another $2 from Potbelly Punch. Saying I'm shipping lots of eBay inventory, not main job. I gotcha. Yeah, that does sound like lots of work too. And in addition to that Patreon pledge, Sam Bam is in the super chat with $24.99.
Dang.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jeez.
Saying thank you guys for all that you do. I spent most of my time this year working on Days Gone, but in the meantime, your channel helped my gaming setup immensely. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you. Days Gone is definitely something I would like to play. I don't have it yet. You know, I've been holding back on like a lot of AAA games, mostly because they tend to drop in price relatively quickly, or you can get a good deal like Black Friday, or you know, even early the next year or something. Like something like Death Stranding, I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to like playing this right away, you know. So I didn't mind paying the $60 for that. Or Nintendo games, they don't go down in price, like I said before. Oh, and we got another 2 from Potbelly Punch. Thank you.
YouTube Premium gets 4 super chats a month. That's crazy. I mean, I never really use them, so I will have to go ahead and.
Yeah, you. Who do we know that also streams on YouTube?
Oh, there's lots of people.
I mean, I don't pay as much attention as you do, so I'm not really sure.
Well, I've been bad at paying attention lately, just because I've been try to
but
cut down on the distractions as much as possible.
You should give those out since you've got them on your personal account.
Yes. Come on. So
Potbelly.
Sam Bam, I feel like you do.
This is another Potbelly Punch with another $2, so I'm giving you all my free super chats. Well, thank you.
Sam Bam, you do some stuff on YouTube yourself. I feel like I've seen your channel. At least, or not. If not you, then it's somebody who uses the same name as you. We
got Ben Birdie with $2 saying, "Give them to yourself, Coury. You know you want to." There probably are consequences for doing something like that.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Okay,
you know,
so
like
you used to way back then. Okay. I feel like I saw you on, like I first saw your channel because you were a member of a Facebook group that was made up of like other people doing YouTube. But maybe not.
He mostly does streaming on Twitch these days, he says.
I see. Oh, jeez. I mean, I think that I can. If I give this an honest go, like every day, I think I can finish.
Oh
it.
yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe that would be a good use of some Twitch streaming, maybe like during the week. Just I can do one run of all my continues and see what happens every day. I mean, that could be fun. Would anybody be interested in watching that? You said Joe reference.
How do you do a Joe Redifer voice?
Well, sometimes he does like a
goofy voice.
Yeah, like an accent, like a.
Yeah. I could definitely see him doing like a $2, but you're saying your Joe Redifer voice.
Or the $2.
Yeah. $2, but you do it in your Joe Rutherford voice. Yeah. That got Sega riled up.
I made it past that part because
Mega power.
I'm glad that that's what everyone else is thinking. I guess I just shoot forward.
Tape mode. Green dog.
Let's see. Okay, so here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go straight for. Let's see. Here we go. Nope.
We
diagonal or
we
die
are
here?
hoping to do a Dreamcast RGB 200 probably like one of the highest priorities I would.
Yes,
I would think,
it's
after the documentary series is out, which we're planning to start releasing that in January. So that's probably something you can expect in like the first I would guess probably first quarter of the year would be pretty safe to say, because you have tried. I don't think
I guess. But hang on, they come after you at the end.
I was hoping maybe you just found a safe spot that you could stay in for like.
That could be. I think that was my last continue.
Oh,
yep. That's all right. What time is it?
I'll
give it another go.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to do PC Engine 200, but I do think Dreamcast and Wii will happen first. Most likely. But, PC Engine, Xbox, that kind of stuff will happen as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that another one that's kind of is going to happen next year is going to be 3DO.
Oh, yeah. That one probably won't really even take a lot of time.
Nope.
Like after I hate to actually say it out loud, but it's only been 2 years.
I know. It has been 2 years. Like next week, it's going to be 2 years.
Like if there's anyone who's like a college student or a high school student that saw I guess it was the last one, the PS2 one.
Yes.
If they saw that their freshman year, they're halfway through high school or college.
Yeah. Well, that means we got to do it. There's another Potbelly Punch.
Ooh, a $5
donation.
Thank you. What do you think about the Dreamcast controller? I hate it. Any good alternatives? I'd like to have a nice arcade stick.
I'm curious to see how that Retro Fighters Dreamcast pad is going to be. I definitely don't love the Dreamcast pad, and I hate the I hate the triggers on it, for one thing. I hate how the cord comes out of the bottom. I mean, it's definitely my least favorite Sega controller.
Aaron Welsh donated $2. Thank you.
Thanks.
And says, let me warm up. My life a gaming. Okay, here we go. Make this better. Talk like Joe, talking like Cry. These voices really rile Sandy up.
SG6000. What do the dancing people stand for?
Someone was asking, is it possible to get RGB out of 3DO? And you You gave your 3DO to Dan the other
Yeah, the Citrus 3000 PSI, and I'll probably be streaming that when I get it back. He
Is that the first RGB mod for it? Like, is it like? To be honest, I haven't like paid that close attention. Is it his mod?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, so there is a. Dan has just been extremely prolific lately.
Yeah.
With his stuff. Between that and the GameCube ODE, just like a lot of stuff he's been cranking out. I told him, he's like, I gotta slow it down a little bit. Dial it back. But yes, he installed one in my 3DO, and hopefully I'll be able to check it out in the next couple weeks or so. He also had an extra ODE for it as well that I bought off of him, and he installed it. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah, so I mean that should be a pretty easy RGB episode. I mean, you already did an episode on the 240p.
Yeah, but I mean, I just might as well do it if there's nothing.
Oh
else
yeah,
really...
I mean that'll they'll like kind of supplant it, but yeah, I mean may as well. We'll probably get people like claiming we're like anti-Xbox or something if we do 3DO before Xbox.
Well, it's mainly just
because it's easy
accessibility, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like, I mean, I guess this mod is kind of new, so like it's relevant,
right?
Why are you so anti-FM Town Marty? You know what's a system that I'm kind of like legit fascinated by? Like I don't know if it even has any like decent games, but like I want to know more about the Super ACAN, because it's like it's very, I mean, I don't know if architecturally it's all that Super Nintendo like, but it's definitely just like this, like, 16-bit sprite-based system that came out way too late, and the physical body of it looks like one. I think it was maybe just released in Taiwan or something like that. I forget. But I don't know, just the idea of like a 16-bit system releasing in like 95 or something just like is like fascinating to me. I want to play one.
Someone, Velby says, you get $10 million, but you get to play games in RF forever, and I would definitely take that.
I mean, is it only limited to systems that natively support RF? If so, then sure. What's this about? 6 button pads for Dreamcast by ASCII. Were you aware of those?
I don't know about the ASCII ones. I don't know. I'm curious about the Retro Fighters one that's coming out though. I mean, that looks like something. It seems like a good alternative.
Yeah, I could. I'm gonna look that up because that sounds cool. Dreamcast ASCII. I always did like ASCII. Oh, okay, so it's a D-pad controller.
Oh, okay.
The white one looks pretty cool, but then there's like this black and yellow one that looks like there's also like a blue and white. I like just the white one with the gray buttons. That's pretty cool. It's very Saturn-like. I don't know how the triggers would work if it has triggers. Doesn't look bad. It's got an official logo on it. Yeah, I could see myself, if the Retro Fighters one turns out good, I could see myself maybe switching to that. Because I do like the N64 one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit I have not used it a lot since,
Oh, come on.
I played Bomberman Hero with it, and and then I used it for that episode we did last year. The third-party controllers episode. Yeah, I haven't really used it much since then. I've used it, for like multiplayer controller for other people. But that's just because I'm just such a N64 controller fanboy. So. But it is a good controller. So, Dreamcast, I'm okay with the Dreamcast controller. I don't love it. I thought it was pretty good back in the day, although I didn't, I never understood why it had so few buttons. And only one stick when, obviously that was the direction things were going. But I did like it back in the day. I liked the feel of the stick back in the day. I guess it's not really that great.
Of what stick?
The Dreamcast stick. I liked it back in the day for some reason. Because that was honestly my Dreamcast was like back then the most exposure to Sega.
I feel like there was a donation you missed. Did you see the donation from Craig Wan?
There was a $10 from Craig Wan and maybe another $2 Potbelly Punch. Craig Wan says, I'll admit, Heckfire almost made me spit my drink laughing. Anyway, are you guys excited for Streets of Rage 4? Would love to see you two play co-op on that game. Also, try Mr. Dog. Well, I don't know if you've seen her since you've been watching on the stream. She's made a few appearances. She's been running around barking. She's just laying down now.
Do we know does Streets of Rage 4 even have a release date yet?
Not to my knowledge. It seems like they're just kind of taking as much time as is needed on it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know that like when it was initially revealed, like you and a lot of people weren't really into the style, but I was like I kind of found it to be immediately appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the Dragon's Trap remake graphics, and it's sort of a similar style to that. Which a lot of people didn't think really fit that, but I think it's just really good art. I like it a lot.
I do think that seeing it in action a bit more has me
sort of change your tune.
Yeah, just at least a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited about it. I feel like it's gonna be pretty good. I think there was the stream ticker showing another Potbelly Punch $2, but I don't see it in the chat. Oh, weird! It appears above Craig Wan's. Yes or no? Etsy repros of expensive games. Ignorance is bliss. I've not really looked at repros on Etsy. I mean, I'm personally not really into repros.
This guy always gets me.
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I have nothing against them as long as they're not like trying to fool anyone.
Yeah.
but they just aren't. Like, even like, I've discussed before, even like some of these recent like official repros, if you want to call them repros, like I just can't really get that interested in them. I mean, just I'm glad they exist, but I just like, I'm really just interested in like the back in the day releases. And that's just me personally. Although I definitely like the idea of using, a system like the Sega Genesis, for example, as the basis for a new game. Because that way you're really forced to stay within the system's constraints.
Mm-hmm.
But just like with Ultra Core, for example, which wasn't a new game, but kind of. That I wanted to get the Switch version of that because it's a real Switch cartridge, even though it's a game built on Genesis hardware. But then you like it is authentic to a 16-bit game, because like a lot of times like new style retro games, they don't really fit like the limitations of a system. Some of them might fudge it pretty well, some of them might not. Some, might go for a certain aesthetic, but maybe try to imagine it to be more. And a lot of games I think do pretty good at that. Like, Sonic Mania was, very, very good at doing like, kind of a bit beyond Genesis, like a Saturn.
I knew it.
A Saturn sequel, something like that. It very much had that vibe and kind of nailed it without needing to truly be constrained by that.
Right.
So I like the idea of it, but like I would still, if someone developed a new game, I would still like rather just like play like an emulation of it on Switch with a real Switch cartridge rather than a not Sega, not Nintendo cartridge. That's just me.
So
we got $1.99 from Kyle Rogers Kyle.
Thank you.
Kyle Rogers Kyle. Saying he messed at Retro World. Really loved your doc. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are you talking about, did you buy a Night Trap Blu-ray, or was it another documentary that you're talking about? Was the Night Trap documentary new to you?
Yeah, I mean, we did the screening of M2 at this one, so maybe it was that one.
So yeah, that was it.
Speaking of that, I submitted that to the GDC conference film festival.
Not Night Trap.
No, M2, because it has to be an hour long, and M2 is an hour and
26 minutes.
It's an hour and 28 seconds.
Or I mean 20. Yeah, seconds. I meant to say seconds.
So that would be kind of cool if they got in there. It'd be kind of surreal. I wish there's a way to cycle backwards and forward through your weapons.
Thank you so much for buying Night Trap, and thanks for the donation. We're, I don't know how soon it's going to happen, but we're hoping to have those M2 Blu-rays.
You have the Blu-rays themselves. We just need to do packaging.
Yes, we're hoping to get them packaged and ready for selling and shipping.
It'd be cool if they have it before Christmas, but
within the next couple of months at least. So we'll have those.
How many we have? We have like 300 copies or something like that of it.
We'll have 300 copies. Now, I mean, if it does really well, we might consider making more.
Yeah.
But for now, we've got 300 copies. But
it would be cool if we got to screen that at GDC. Like, I don't even know how that would go. I mean,
Yeah, that'd be kind of wild.
yeah.
I mean, they would probably be there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if that happened, maybe we could do like a Q&A with them afterwards. Maybe, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's only 8 films get picked for it, so I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other ones.
I feel like if they have to be an hour long, though, like.
Well, I mean,
that's pretty long for this sort of thing. I was surprised by that restriction.
Well, they need to be significant enough to warrant like having a screening for it. Especially
sure, but what's the like? What were some of the restrictions in terms of like content? Like, what does it have to be about?
I don't know. I didn't read that part.
Like, I don't know if it's like specifically like documentaries about developers or I'm
falling apart here.
Like I don't really know, or about games. Like I don't really know.
I'm sure it has to be video game based. Because I mean it's.
Oh sure, but like based on what? Because I don't know that many people are making hour-long video game documentaries.
Well, I mean, everything that NoClip is doing is an hour.
Oh, are they that long?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were. I mean,
they just released
like
a big one on the ESRB that was like an hour and a half.
But a lot of the ones I've watched on NoClip were like divided into like parts.
No, I'm pretty sure they've done parts where they're like subjects. I guess they did that with the Hitman one, but I mean, for the most part, I think that like splitting them into parts is not considered a good thing these days in YouTube. I mean, the best example of that not going well is the what is it? Archipel's Dreamcast documentary that they did. The first part did super good view-wise, and then the second part didn't get nearly the amount of views.
Right? Yeah. I mean that.
And that's too bad.
Of course, our documentary series is going to be in parts, but like, it's. I mean, it's also going to be like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
so.
It's gonna be a. So in each one of them is different enough. It's not just
each one is different enough. It's not like a to be continued necessarily. I mean, I'm considering like in credits of each one saying like to be continued in part 3 or whatever.
Oh, but I wouldn't say that. What I think in a way, it's just.
They're almost standalone videos.
Exactly. Yeah, they're standalone.
There is like a logical flow to it, but they are very much individual videos. Like I want people to watch it from the beginning, but I'm also trying to make it so that you won't be lost if it's like you just watch any given episode.
Right.
Like if you just watched any random one of them, you would not necessarily be lost.
SG-3000 is a Japanese version, though, unfortunately. So.
Oh, what
there's a way to get unlimited continues by putting it on extra hard, but I.
Oh really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound
like a good trade-off.
Yeah.
If extra hard is actually harder. It could be something like the Sega CD version of Final Fight, where the difficulty modes just do nothing. Yeah. It does not work.
I don't know. I'll do one run a day. or maybe more than one if I come real close. That's really the key, I guess, to getting like playing shooters. Is you just got to do one attempt
every day.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. Didn't have any real problem with it before. I know I saw someone said I've been playing the same 20-second segment over and over again for 20 minutes. But I knew in my heart that my last run was going to be my best one for the night.
Yeah, it seems like you've run out of steam.
Yeah.
You know, I think I said before, I was kind of like thinking of doing something similar. Like I was going to do one run of the impossible layer and ukulele a day.
Yeah.
But I haven't really been doing that. I need to do it. That game is also going to be relatively high on my favorites of the year. I definitely need to finish it so that it can be on my list this year. But I really like that. It seems like with that boss, like if you know exactly where to go, you can just go the same spot every time as long as like your power is the same. You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
like you could just like memorize the route that you need to take. You'll probably, I mean, it seems like he doesn't actually take that long to die. It's just that he gets you pretty quickly a lot of the time. So you just need to be consistent in where you move.
Oh, so you've made it to him, or are you talking? You're talking about ukulele?
What? Who? No? What? Me?
Yeah. Are you talking about ukulele?
I was saying.
Oh, the boss that I was just playing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. For some reason,
no. I mean, you fight capital B several times throughout the impossible layer.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the one that's like 50%.
I see.
But I've only made it 50% through the impossible layer. But I haven't tried in several weeks.
So, SG 6000 is saying that this is the superior version of the game, or this is the Japanese version is the superior version to have.
Do you like this version with the 3 smaller core enemies instead of like the one big one?
Yeah. It's easier to manage.
Yeah, it does look easier.
I just like lost my.
Oh, it says Gangway Gamer. Says you should make at least a few tries on the impossible layer each day. That is how I was able to do it eventually. It is like I was like feeling really confident that like I've got like 42 or 43 Bs out of 48, and I was like feeling really confident that it was like not going to be that hard. And it's like it's not that crazy, but it's also kind of
done it without any though. Yeah.
Oh, probably someone. I mean, eventually for sure someone's going to do it. I bet some people have done it. Actually, you know what's something fun. You remember those signboards on the overworld? That if you give them some quills, they like tell you where a hidden tonic is. You remember?
Yeah,
when you played?
Right.
There's one of them actually that says there's a secret hidden somewhere in the overworld. But no hints. He said, maybe look on the internet. Someone will find it eventually. So I wonder, I mean, I bet someone's found it by now.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of fun because they just knew that, like,
someone would find it.
The crowd would eventually figure it out,
Yeah.
But no hint. Like, basically that means someone is going to have to like randomly stomp every inch of the overworld.
Oh, I'm sure someone's already done that though.
I'm sure someone's already done. But yeah, I mean, you know, just the notion that yeah, just blowing all of your super shots on that guy.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Seems to be the ticket. But yeah, just like that, I'm sure someone has already done the impossible layer without taking a hit. Or technically, you can take a hit. You just have to get Laylee back.
Right.
Because I don't think there are any Laylee bells in it. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's not going to be that hard. It's like, it's definitely very manageable.
But it actually is that hard.
Well, it's long. It's a lot longer than I thought it would. That's the main thing. It's like not like so overwhelmingly like mean or anything. It's very hard, but
This game that I'm playing has a swear word on the title. I mean, I know.
I'm surprised in the 90s that like
It was just released for
that flew. I mean, you know, I am sure there were many conversations, you know, you know, the publisher or, you know, Sega as well, you know. But Sega was like the cool system. It was cool to be edgy. Before the stream started, Paul Sutton said, look at these edgelords. Which reminds me of a comment from a couple of weeks ago.
Like, you're an edgelord for something random. It was like you were about the opposite.
It was the Nintendo Power Top 100 Games episode, which like is a little sometimes gets some divisive comments, especially from like people who are, you know, completely unfamiliar with the show, because like I kind of that was an episode that I was that kind of the whole idea behind it. I mean, that is an old episode, first of all. You know, I think I was like going out of town or something. And I needed to do something that I felt I could do very quickly. So like there's 100 games. Like I didn't want to linger on 100 games. Like some of them I just had to go quick. And then the ones that I actually had anything to say about, I would talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that was our first, like, it was like the first episode on our channel that was like 45 minutes.
I don't think it's not even that long. It was very long at the time though.
No, I'm pretty sure it was 45. It's like 45 minutes.
I doubt it. Hang on, I'm gonna look. Oh, I bet it's like 20 something, or maybe it was over 30. Let's see. It's 3207. It's probably the first video that was over 30 minutes.
Okay.
But the intent very much was to do something quick, you know, and I glossed over sports games, I glossed over fighting games, and I you know, it's been a long time since I watched the video. I don't really want to watch it because it's so old, but you know, I went over those things quickly, and I don't think I was necessarily dismissive of them. Like, I would have never been like, oh, like, this is stupid and you're stupid if you like it. Like, but I made it very clear I personally did not have interest in those games. So, you know, if I came across as dismissive or something, it's just because I was trying to move quickly. But yeah, some people have been like, oh, you don't like anything, you know. But there was this one guy that was just like you just come across as like an edgelord in this video, and I'm thinking, Like, of all the people on the internet, you called me an edgelord? Like, that is hilarious. We got a $2 donation from Brennan
Doherty.
Doherty. Thank you. Saying thank you guys for making great videos to watch.
Oh, thanks for watching. I keep on looking up at the chat because it's like right above the game, and I look down and I die every time. 2 more continues left. I'm just gonna roll them out. You know what I'm gonna do? I think that after I finish this, I might play. Maybe I'll play a round or 2 of Xeno Crisis, just to wrap up the stream. It'd be fun. I'm sure everyone has already seen people stream it or play it, but I thought that I would just play it anyways.
Someone pointed out that your monitor says Coury and Try, which is left over from when we were streaming a few weeks ago at Coury's house.
The what?
So, that you've got both of our names on your monitor.
Oh yeah. So SG6000. Sorry, I was looking up at SG6000. I should push this myself a bit higher. Yeah, I feel like I'm just not doing maybe. I'm barely even paying attention at this point.
What was my favorite hardware to do video on? I would have to say it was the Game Boy episode.
Yeah,
definitely. Possibly followed maybe by PlayStation 2. I really enjoyed doing that one, and like PS2 is definitely a system that has increased in my estimation in the past several years. We got a donation. We got a $2 donation from Joshua Helmke. Thank you. What are some thoughts on Hyper Light Drifter? I forget who released it. I picked up a physical copy of that. Was it Fangamer? I forget who did that. I've got a PS2 physical copy of that. And I still haven't gotten around to playing it. But I am interested in playing it, obviously. Wouldn't buy it if I wasn't.
Okay, so if anybody in the chat has played this, did they get the same person to say the title screen to say Xeno Crisis? Is the same person who says Time Crisis? Because I think it's the same voice.
Yeah, I really need to get the PS1 Time Crisis. I know it's not as good as like the later games, but I still need to get it.
I prefer the 3-button layout. But I'm pretty sure that it's the same person that says Xeno Crisis is the same as the Time Crisis.
Well, I'm sure it's something that, you know, can be mimicked.
But it'd be cool if if it's the same person. Great soundtrack in this game.
It does look like a lot of fun.
I've not managed to beat the first boss though. Not that it's that tough or anything. It doesn't seem like it's that tough.
You probably just weren't really committing to it.
Right. The only thing I wish was different is that you could roll when you're shooting. So you could just press it and keep on holding down the I wish you could just keep on holding down the fire button and roll, but you have to let go.
Controls seem pretty intuitive from the little bit I played, though.
Should probably save that those barrels for when there's actual enemies in here.
I don't know what Microsoft's next console will be called, but I hope they come up with a heck of a better name than Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, even though the Xbox One has become quite a different console from that initial pitch, like, it's kind of, I feel, been this baggage that it's had to carry through the whole generation. And I'm sure they are looking forward to getting rid of that.
I mean, it's tough. That's another one. I'll give it a go on easy. See how that goes.
Xbox Zero. Xbox Infinite. Xbox 3, Sega Dreamcast 2. You mean Xbox 4?
I hope they call it the X Biggity. Or the XB joint. When I worked at Electronics Boutique when I was in college, I love it when people was like, "You got the XB joint?"
I would not mind them just straight up going to like Xbox 4. Or maybe they'll try to have parity with PlayStation and call it Xbox 5 and kind of fudge it, saying that like the Xbox One X is kind of the Xbox 4, you know? Just go to a straight up numbering scheme like they did with Windows and like skip 9 for some reason. You know, I always kind of thought like Mario Kart going to the numbering scheme was like inspired by Windows. I don't know if that's accurate, but like I think Mario Kart 7 came out during the Windows 7 era, I think. Or maybe toward the tail end of it, I'm not sure. So I always kind of thought that was inspired by that. I wonder when there will be a Mario Kart 9, like if it'll be on the Switch or we're going to save that for later. I keep saying that the Mario Kart team should, you know, make an F-Zero instead. You know, since we already got, you know, even though it's a port, you know, we already got a really good Mario Kart on the Switch. You know? Use your experience making those F-Zero DLC levels in Mario Kart 8 for actually making an F-Zero.
Yeah. I just really want to beat this first boss. I just want to see what happens when you beat a level.
What's your favorite Crysis game? Time Crisis, Xeno Crisis, Crisis Core, City Crisis, or Crisis? I would say Disaster Day of Crisis. That game is kind of dumb, but I also kind of love it.
I say Time Crisis 3.
Yeah, that is a really good one. I mean, I feel I'm not allowed to say it's a favorite until I've beaten it.
Now proceeding to the facility.
But
oh, look at that. You'll see.
Oh, you are these permanent upgrades or like disposable items?
It looks like they have permanent. You get permanent upgrades.
That's nice. It was based on the dog tags you picked up. That's cool.
Yeah.
So is the hair on her character sprite looks green, but it's not that way in the artwork.
It's probably a color limitation.
Either that or, a lot of times I feel like weird colors were used, in 16-bit games for certain things that just there was no reason for it. Like the orange Yoshi arms in Mario World. Like, why? Ludwig and Larry having white hair instead of blue on Super Nintendo. Like, why? There's no need for that. Link having pink hair in Link's Awakening. Like, I don't understand how that could have been a color limitation. But if it was like a creative choice, like, why? It just doesn't have anything to do with the artwork.
I just felt like it, I guess.
Like, Link's pink hair, I will admit, is something that I just like. I didn't even think about it, like, for a long time. Like, I just didn't notice, and then like just one day, I'm like, oh, his hair's pink. I wonder that's weird. There's like no reason for it, but I mean, I guess on a RCA TV with an RF connection,
yeah,
I guess I just didn't notice. No, it's definitely not the color of his cap. That's probably maybe what I thought it was. I probably thought it was like maybe a rim like on his cap, but it's definitely his hair.
Oh, it's boss already. Death Viper.
Stay cool. I don't want to speak too soon, but this guy feels like he might be a little easier than the first boss.
And Shima. Well, it probably also helps that I have helps that I have powered up gun. I'm trying to get these bullets. Oh, of course I get hit.
So is that heart like lives, or is that like life for your life?
That's see, I don't know.
A new life. Ah, you blew it.
I know I did. I'll continue. I have to do the whole level over. No, starts me. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe that's just easy mode.
We're on that Neo Geo episode. I'm sure we'll have a proper Neo Geo episode sometime. Speaking of which, I'm getting. I bought 3 MVS carts from Artemio, and I ordered an MV1C, and it should arrive this week. But it won't be ready to play. But I'll have one foot in the door at least toward having a working Neo Geo setup.
Probably try his streams next. And okay, so what's next Sunday is what? What's the day?
Next Sunday something special?
No. I'm just wondering what day of the month it is.
Oh, I don't know.
Because Thanksgiving's really late in the month this year.
Yeah, that's 28th.
Got it.
It shouldn't, at least on my end, it shouldn't interfere with any streams. I mean, Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday, so...
Right.
It should not get in the way of anything.
But isn't the AVGN versus Dr. Wily supposed to be super hard? I mean, I could see playing it like if I was going to play a bunch of fan hacks, but we'll see. Yeah, that might be something I do next year.
I don't know what I'll play. Whatever I feel like, I guess.
Yeah.
I did, get a lot of enjoyment out of.
Did I just rescue Adam Koralik? That guy, his name is it? Was it Adam Koralik?
It was. I didn't see what the other name was.
I wonder who else is in this game then.
Maybe we are.
Maybe. I mean, we're in.
We're in Streets of Red.
Yeah.
I don't know if are our names in that or just our sprites. It's awesome though. We should probably use those sprites on something.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe you can make like a custom, your SD2 SNES.
Oh, like a menu.
Menu or something. Put them on that. Those are really good sprites.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like there's nearly as much going on in this level. But the fact that you get to start right at a boss with your health, or with its health at the same level as when you died, makes me feel like maybe it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Is there a Dreamcast version of this?
Wait,
I don't know. Do you? Huh?
Is there a Dreamcast? There probably will be a Dreamcast version eventually. I mean, there's a Switch and all the and PS4 version and all that stuff. Like, I wonder if it's significantly easier. I assume it's probably a twin stick shooter on those.
I mean, is it the same graphics?
Yeah.
I mean, it may be a twin stick shooter, but I doubt it would actually add the extra gradations. It's probably still just 8-direction movement. Probably more comfortable though.
Right, that's what I mean.
Is there a physical copy coming?
Probably strictly limited. We'll probably do. Art's gonna do them, I think.
Okay, well, I definitely want to get that. I'll probably get the Switch version.
Yeah, I probably would get that too.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's a really good trend. Like these homebrew Genesis games, also coming to PS3 and Switch. Like that. I really like that. Oh, why did? Oh, that was my stream quality dropping. I'm like, why did it get blurry? Well, actually, I'm just watching it on the YouTube app on my TV, but I'm pretty sure the Ethernet port on my old computer, which is the one that's set up down here, is dead.
That's
And
crazy.
so I'm actually using a wireless card in it right now. I'm pretty sure it's dead. I tried a couple of Ethernet cables, and it's been touchy for a long time. In fact, like, a couple of years ago, that was one of the reasons I was having a lot of stream trouble. And like, I just learned that, like, once you got that Ethernet jack working, like, do everything in your power to not even like breathe on the cable.
So that's what happens. You breathed on it.
Basically, I guess. I don't know what happened because I don't really remember. I mean, there's a ladder in that corner because my dad and I were doing some painting on the wall where the electrician had to run a new circuit. The ladder's still there. We might do a little more touch up, but I mean, that might have had something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's like I could not get it working again. So
well,
yeah, I don't know. It's on a wireless connection now, so that actually could be a problem for me streaming next week. I don't know. I'm planning to take advantage of Black Friday deals to build a new computer for this room. Whoa. Wow, like the stream must have gone down to like 144p or something. It's like crazy low. Oh man, I gotta take a picture of how low that is. It's impressive. But I'm planning to use Black Friday deals to
explore options.
Well, I pretty much know what I want to get. I want to get like either an i5 or a Ryzen 5 with a GTX 1660 Ti, because that should be all I really need to, like, just for a streaming computer, just for a video encoding computer, to do the higher the newest NVENC cards. Actually have higher quality. How'd you start here?
I held B. So SG 6000 said hold for infinite mode, hold BC right and start. I accidentally held left and start and press start, and it sent me right to the boss.
Huh, weird. But anyway, yeah, I want to so basically the newest NVIDIA cards have better encoding quality. So I really want to get one of those, and not a gaming computer, just a streaming and recording computer, basically.
Right.
And that should be what I need to encode 4K without dropping anything. So I'm definitely going to be looking for computer part deals, in a couple of weeks. So that is a higher priority now than it initially was, because that Ethernet port not working is not great.
So is infinite mode just you're in this room and it goes on forever? Yeah, I could see that being kind of fun.
Bag of Schmidt, Jeremy lives in North Carolina.
Although it would be cool to be Retronauts.
I visited him like a month ago to interview him for the documentary series. Video game stuff does happen in North Carolina.
Well, there's the limited run. What is it? It's like a big sale that they're having next week.
Oh yeah.
You should go down to that. Honestly, like you should go down to it.
I thought about it. I mean, I bet it's a lot of fun. I just don't know if I really have time to. But I mean, if it's not like on a Saturday.
I know that Tyler's going. You should go down there because they're going to have. Apparently, they're going to be selling the copies of Night Trap for the PS4 that have the 32X box, the cover variant, I guess.
Oh. Yeah, I did see that.
You should go down.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
I mean, if you tell them that you're going to go down, you know, I think if Tyler's going to be like he's like a guest at it and is like going to be signing and stuff, I bet you could go down there and like be a guest at it.
Well, I mean, probably, but I mean, I just don't know if I'll have time. I mean, I would like to, though. I mean, for sure. If I had, you know, if I didn't have just like so much work to do on this documentary series, you know,
it's just one day. I mean,
I know.
It's just one.
I'm just trying to stay really focused.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. So you power up, you pick up power ups. I'm just seeing how long I can go for.
Yeah, Lazy Game Reviews lives near Asheville.
No, I think that's gonna do it. I think that's gonna do it for me. Does it have a battery in this that remembers your high score and stuff?
I don't know. Or EEPROM.
Yeah. The cartridge itself is nice and beveled.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna do it for us this week. I'm kind of noticing that our audio levels are a little bit low. I'm sorry if we've been quiet the whole time. Like no, I guess maybe it's not. Even if I crank it way up, it's still not. Oh well. Just our level, the audio levels are not very.
I don't think anyone complained about not being able to hear us or anything.
Yeah, that was in the green. It's only like maxing out in the yellow. Oh well. I mean, I guess I'll have to fix that up for next time. Anyways, everyone, thanks for hanging out, and everyone who donated and everyone who watched and rooted for me. But maybe what I'll do is I'll do one run of Hellfire a day, or every other day, or depending on what my schedule is. But maybe I should just do one run a day.
It's like 20 minutes.
Well,
30 minutes.
If I get good enough, I could probably beat it in that amount of time. But yeah.
And don't forget to look for a mini episode.
Yeah, tomorrow morning it'll be out. I mean, it's done. It's uploaded.
Yep.
I was going to release it today, but I was out with family today, and I just didn't get a chance to make a new thumbnail. So, look for it tomorrow morning. Anyways.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.